Hello, boys and girls. So, we're going to be talking today again about White Zombie, although this time we're going to be talking about their song Black Sunshine. So, I'm going to get a little bit into the composition here to start with, although I won't get too Rick Beato ish on you. So, Black Sunshine is composed in the key of A major and runs at a tempo of about 168 beats per minute. It's got kind of a it's energetic, but it's not like extremely fast. The song's about or ostensibly about a Ford Mustang, but features what sound like spooky satanic words in the verse sections and the chorus, and there is a surprising amount of stuff that one could read between each line. There are references to various horror movies and uh, some pop culture samples throughout. The song has that classic White Zombie feel of "Let It Burn, motherfuckers." Bam. It's a good example of a song that's not the fastest, yet still has the frenetic energy because of its bounce and its style. Personally, I think it could benefit from the sound of a sustained bongo roll at at least at some parts of the song, because the Iggy Pop narration kind of makes it sound like a coffeehouse poet uh, reading or something like that during the intro and the outro parts. I can also imagine a movie poster with the words carnage, insane, perverted, dreadful attached to this and many other White Zombie songs because they're so steeped in horror movie lore and in such a weird way. I would also say that Black Sunshine is one of the best representations of lyrics written by Rob Zombie because the lyrics are weird but sort of understandable at times. You can connect certain dots and have certain meanings emerge from them, I suppose. And sure, you could say that about most White Zombie songs, but a, a lot of them they get a little bit too abstract and confusing if you actually try to analyze them. And I don't remember when I first heard this song, but I think I was still in high school. And when I was a teenager listening to metal music, White Zombie was definitely one of my favorite metal bands at the time. And I would say that Rob Zombie or Marilyn Manson would have been, some of my given examples of metal singers who could scream on a higher register. And you would have Phil Anselmo of Pantera, who would be on the lower, more cookie monster side of things. And then you had Glenn Danzig, who was more of the crooner of the bunch. And, this was when I was hearing mostly just mainstream metal kind of stuff. It's not like I never heard anything from the underground, but, my exposure to music was relatively limited back then. So I haven't heard the song live. I do know that a lot of White Zombie and Rob Zombie live performances aren't quite as good as the studio album versions. So I can't really comment on that much, but I will say that you at least do have the studio version, which I would recommend. Maybe there is like a really good example of a live version, and maybe it would even top the album version from La Sexorcisto. I don't know, but I think this is one of the best tracks off of that album, if not the best. And I think that has a lot to do with it just sounds like they were focused on this one. It's not like the other ones lacked focus. That's not what I'm saying here, but I'm just saying that this really sounds like a complete package. Like there was some sort of vision that was animating this one. Again, I'm not trying to insult the other tracks or other White Zombie projects or Rob Zombie projects, but this to me is one of his best accomplishments. You know, take it or leave it, I guess. I can't say I worship Rob Zombie or White Zombie or any of that stuff, but I like some of their studio recordings, and this track features Iggy Pop speaking a verse or two about cars and almost semi satanic language. And that to me is a plus. It's a weird conglomeration of elements. Kind of hard to pin down exactly what's going on with this track, but part of the appeal is the mystery, I suppose. It was a great idea that Zombie had asked Iggy Pop to do the intro and the outro parts, and he also used snippets of the movie Faster Pussycat Kill in the recording, which is a movie I still have not seen somehow, despite how it has that really cool title. But I also want to this isn't really me saying this for sure, like a definite thing. It's almost like I'm asking a question. I'm wondering if Blue Sunshine, the 1970s horror movie, at all had influenced Black Sunshine, because I don't know for a fact that it did, but that movie is about these people who had taken a bad batch of LSD or something in Los Angeles, and they start losing their hair and they go on a killing spree. And that kind of movie premise sort of has Rob Zombie written all over it. And frankly, I think that's the kind of movie that could really enjoy sort of a resurgence. These sort of moral panic drug scare kind of movies. I suppose it might be dangerous to do that because, well, you know how people are. Like, you get these rumors about people biting each other's faces off over bath salts or whatever. The whole moral panic thing. It is potentially dangerous because, as bad as bath salts are, if you were to take them, you're probably not going to bite somebody's face off. That was just based on one freak incident, I suppose, or I have read, and that person might have been crazy to begin with, or however you want to put it. Mentally unbalanced, I guess, would be the politically correct way of saying it. But anyway, long story short, I do wonder if Black Sunshine was inspired at all by Blue Sunshine. And if you have any thoughts on that, go ahead and, message me on social media, or, comment wherever you can find me online, and just let me know what your thoughts are on that. It could very well be that it's just a coincidence, but it almost seems again like something that Rob Zombie would have definitely been aware of. I mean, I don't see any speculation about it on the Wikipedia page for Black Sunshine, but really, I assume that there could be a connection. But anyway, I've gone on enough about this song. I just would recommend you check it out if you like metal music, and there's a good chance you've heard this song already. But those are my thoughts on it. All right, have a good day.